morning, Elon. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Matt Lee.
And I'm Nicole Bloom. Thanks for tuning in to Elon in the Morning. It's a somber morning in Boston and across the nation after 2 explosions killed 3 people and injured more than 150 near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. Joe Bruno is live in the studio with the newest details that emerged while we were sleeping. Joe?
Good morning, Nicole. The Boston Police Department had a briefing about 20 minutes ago. Here's what we know now. Mayor Thomas DeMino, he stressed that Boston will overcome from this situation. We know that 150 people were injured. 3 people at the moment have been confirmed dead. One of the 3 confirmed dead was 8-year-old Martin Richard of Dorchester, Massachusetts. His neighbors say that he was waiting at the finish line for his dad to finish the race when the 2 bombs exploded. Now, Martin Richard was a big fan of baseball, his neighbor says, and was just a typical 8-year-old boy. Now, to put these blasts into context, we have some video to show that comes from Suffolk University News. This comes from a reporter who was at the finish line. As you can see, after the first explosion, people just panic and scatter before yet another explosion is heard. But one thing that did come out of this tragedy were acts of kindness. Former New England Patriots guard Joanne Drusy was photographed carrying an injured survivor to safety. Joanne Drusy is actually a cancer survivor himself, and Google made a public spreadsheet of Bostonians who opened their homes to those displaced. The spreadsheet has the name and contact number of people in the area with information on their apartments. And finally, it was said that some runners finished the race just kept running to a local hospital to donate blood. The American Red Cross sent out a tweet later in the day, and after they received an overwhelming amount of donations, sent out this tweet, as you can see on the screen. Now, if you're looking for something to do locally, today at 4 p.m. there's a prayer service in the sacred space of the Newman Lumen Pavilion. We will continue to update you with the latest information and ways you can help as they become available. Nicole?
Thanks, Joe. Our very own Sky Cowens is from just 30 minutes outside of Boston, and she's here to talk with us today about her hometown. So, Sky, you're part of the 9% of Elon students who are from the Boston area. How do you deal with what's happening at home right now, being so far away?
Yesterday was really hard, being almost 800 miles away from home, especially as a freshman. You know, when I heard about what happened, I immediately panicked and started calling everybody that I knew, all my friends and family who I knew were there, and any of my friends who go to school in the city, and it was really hard with no cell phone service. And I know a lot of students were dealing with the exact same thing I was going through yesterday in that panic state.
So were you able to reach any of them and hear what they had to say about the situation?
I was. My aunt and uncle took my little cousins in to watch the marathon, and they were walking to the finish line just before the explosion happened, and they decided to stop for coffee right before. And there are so many of those stories of people have their own stories of how they were saved and how their loved ones were saved, and I'm so thankful for that, but we have to remember that there were so many who weren't.
Right. Thank you so much, Sky. Today is also the 6th day of remembrance at Virginia Tech. In 2007, a gunman opened fire, killing 32 people and then himself. Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell declared today Virginia Tech Remembrance Day. The state participated in a moment of silence at 9:43 a.m. The funeral for Prime Minister of Great Britain, Margaret Thatcher, is tomorrow. Our Jeff Ackerman is in London with how the country is preparing for the funeral of its first and only female leader.
Good morning, Elon. Preparations for Margaret Thatcher's funeral are underway. It's going to be a ceremonial funeral with full military honors. That ceremony is going to take place right here at St. Paul's Cathedral. Here's what we can expect tomorrow. The service will begin at 11 a.m. and will begin with a bell toll as the cortege arrives to the cathedral. The cathedral can hold a little more than 2,300 people and is expected to be completely full. Invitations were sent out to government officials across the world. Every living U.S. president was invited. Both David Cameron and Queen Elizabeth II will be there, and ex-U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is expected to attend as well. It's no secret that Margaret Thatcher's funeral is controversial. Those who didn't like her as Prime Minister think too much money is being spent on the funeral. It's the biggest funeral for a Prime Minister since the death of Winston Churchill and is expected to cost £10 million. That's about $15 million. As a result, protests are expected to be outside St. Paul's Cathedral tomorrow, but as you can imagine, the security will be here to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. The ceremony is closed to the public but will be televised, and following the ceremony there will be a private cremation. For now, outside St. Paul's Cathedral, Jeff Ackerman, Elon Local News.
We continue this morning overseas. Tensions remain high on the Korean peninsula as North Korean leaders say they will not give any advance warning before attacking South Korea and potentially the United States, according to its official news agency KCNA. ELN reporter Brian Mazerski has more on how both Elon students from the U.S. and abroad are reacting to the tensions in North Korea.
As you wake up to a calm morning here at Elon, North Koreans are ending another day. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has urged North Korea to drop its nuclear program and stop its threats. But North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un says the country needs their nuclear weapons because the country feels threatened by the U.S. and its allies. Students say although these events should be taken seriously, they see no true threat living here in the United States, nearly 6,900 miles away from North Korea's capital, Pyongyang.
I don't lose sleep over it. So I just think that the United States will do what it needs to do to get over it, and I don't think that we will have it be in any danger.
It's pretty far away, but I think with the way we can get places so quickly nowadays, it's definitely something we should be concerned with.
Professors agree and calm anyone who has the fear that North Korea is going to deploy nuclear weapons against the United States.
The likelihood of a war is pretty small, and I think the likelihood of any kind of prolonged war is essentially minuscule.
What if your home was only 800 miles away from North Korea? Your opinion may be more like Senior Yuki Kondo, whose hometown is in Japan.
It makes me kind of worry about my country, especially my family.
According to the Federation of American Scientists, Japan is easily within the estimated range of North Korean missiles, and if a missile is launched,
Obviously, my family is going to be dead, and, I'll be alone.
Kondo says since most of North Korean issues are all about politics, there's only one thing he and many other students at Elon can do.
Seeing what's happened next.
And observe North Korea's actions from a distance. Brian Mazerski, Elon in the Morning.
Overnight, a U.S. Marine helicopter taking part in a drill in South Korea made a hard landing near the border with the North. The annual drills by South Korean and U.S. forces upset North Korea, who suggested the routine exercises are equal to a declaration of war.
Now we're going to head to our Gary Grumbach, who is live at College Coffee. Gary?
Hey guys, I'm here live at College Coffee. We've got a huge day going on. There's 26 different tables, everything from the Office of Sustainability. It's Wellness Week. It's also Pride Week. And also right now going on is a reading of Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from a Birmingham jail. It's also Muffin Day here at College Coffee at 5 at Capitol Plaza. And there's just so much going on, so many free things, and really it's Gay Pride Week. And Spectrum's here really promoting their organization and what they're doing every single day of this week. Now back to you guys.
Coming up, tips on how to make the most of your summer internship.
And then we'll check back in with Gary at College Coffee to learn more about 30-second marriages. With a little more than a month left in the school year, many are looking towards summer internships. Our Katie Margie is in the studio with tips on how to get the most out of your internship.
Thanks, guys. As your internship begins, know the details. They aren't the most exciting part of an internship, but they're a necessity. Know the time and dates you'll be working, the dress code, and what will be expected of you. You want to get this part right, be on time, and set a good example right from the start. Next, research the company you'll be working at. Knowing the ins and outs of the business will help you in learning as much as possible while there. And you may impress your boss along the way with how much you know coming into the internship. This will show you care about what you're doing and will earn you major street cred with your boss. Next, do every task with the same amount of enthusiasm and effort. As an intern, you may be getting coffee, making copies, and use these tasks to meet as many people as you pass out coffee or meet someone at the water cooler. On that note, meet as many people as possible. Ask if you can take employees to lunch, pick their brain. Use these networking opportunities to build a platform for future internships or jobs. While speaking with other employees, ask questions, ask for advice. These people are working in a field you want to be in when you graduate. Learn everything you can so as to be as prepared as possible for when it's your turn at that 9 to 5. And finally, ask for feedback. You can use this information to improve as a student and as soon to be professional in the workplace. Ask what your supervisor thought you did well and what your strengths were and where you can become stronger down the road. Guys?
Let's head over to Gary Grumbach. He's at College Coffee this morning.
College Coffee coordinators told us there are 26 tables with different causes there today, and Gary is going to introduce us to one of them. Gary?
Hey guys, I'm here with Spectrum member Robbie Linklater. Robbie, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on this week with Pride Week?
Sure, right now we have 30-second marriages going on at College Coffee. You can get married to anybody you want for 30 seconds. You get a ring pop, it's really awesome. And we have a politics panel going on tonight. We have an identity workshop on Wednesday, open mic night on Thursday. We have our Pride Parade and Day of Silence on Friday. And on Saturday, we have our second chance prom.
So what does being a Spectrum mean to you?
It means being free to express myself and my identity, and being around a group of friends who are supportive, and it's just amazing.
So what kind of response are we getting here at College Coffee?
Everybody loves it. We have tons and tons of people getting married. Why don't you want ring pops are awesome. So
Thank you so much, Robbie Linklater, member of Spectrum. Now back to you guys.
It's a nice morning so far with College Coffee outside at Phi Beta Kappa Commons. Let's head over to Jacob, who's also outside, to find out what weather we can expect for the rest of the week.
Good morning, Matt and Nicole, and what a beautiful day it is outside. For the first time in several weeks, it's going to be a sunny Tuesday, so be sure to roll out of bed and get on to class. What does that mean for the rest of the week? Let's check out the Phoenix 5-day forecast. Wednesday is shaping up to be very nice, and while the morning should be a little cloudy, it should clear up in the afternoon. Thursday looks to be just as nice, with highs reaching in the low 80s. The men's and women's SoCon tournament also starts, so get outside, enjoy the weather, and cheer on the Phoenix. But be sure to break out the raincoat for Friday, as it looks like there is a 50% chance of rain. So it might be a good day to stay in and get your work done. Finally, the rain will cool things down a little bit for Saturday, with a high around 63. But the sun should be back out just in time for a lovely weekend. That's it for me. Back to you guys on the couch.
After the break, we'll have a breakfast edition of College Cooking.
Later in the show, a cappella group Ripcord is here to give a sneak preview of their spring concert. There's more Elon in the Morning after this.
Alex Rose is at it again, but this time he throws a twist into your traditional breakfast sandwich. Let's take a look at what meals for he did today.
Good morning. Welcome to another episode of College Cooking. I'm your host, Alex Rose. John Malloy couldn't join us today. Now, the name of the game today is breakfast sandwiches. This time I went to Harris Teeter to purchase all our ingredients, so let's check them out. Staying with the theme of our show, I decided to shop healthy today, so instead of going for a traditional wheat roll as I normally do, I decided to go for the 12-grain roll of bread. And as you see, we have our classic pepper and onion as we always do for the show, but we decided to throw in a little twist. We're gonna chop up a tomato today. You got your Black Forest ham and your mild cheddar slices of cheese for the meat of the sandwich, and you can't have a breakfast sandwich without a dozen eggs. So why don't we go ahead and get started. We're gonna start by preparing the bread. So we're gonna try to mix it up today, and we're going to do something that I like to call egg in a hole, where we actually cook the egg within the bread. Very easy. All you need is a slice of bread and a cup. You pretty much just center the cup in your bread and press down. And you're basically creating an indent in the bread. Now it's time to chop up our veggies. I'm only making one sandwich for myself, so that's all you need. Now let's go ahead and add our eggs. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and set our oven top to medium heat and butter up the pan. We're gonna do our level best to add this to the center. Even though I made just one sandwich for myself, you have more than enough ingredients here to make plenty for your friends. You can make at least 4 of these little creations. So, for College Cooking, I'm Alex Rose. Enjoy your breakfast.
Boy, did that look delicious. I'll have to ask Alex to whip me up one of those for our next show to wake me up. So, Elon Gone is over. Followed the 24-hour dance marathon through the eyes of one of our reporters.
And later, the men of Ripcord will serenade us when we come back.
When she's next to me, and I realize the blame is on me, 'cause I knew you.
Some might call it the most fun you never want to have again. That's what Elon Gone dancers were telling themselves as they stood on their feet for 24 hours, dancing for the children who can't. Our Lauren Cook stood alongside them.
Play-Doh, yoga, and even a rave. It may seem like just a party, but for some, it's so much more. During Elon Gone, Elon's 24-hour dance marathon, dancers can't sit or drink caffeine. But that doesn't mean they can't have a good time. I decided to track my progress through all 24 hours. This was the biggest turnout yet for Elon Gone, with more than 1,300 students participating. Volunteers danced as the hours passed, and after 6 hours, they weren't slowing down.
We're 6 hours in here at Elon Gone. As you can see behind me, the dancers are still going strong. We have 18 hours left. Let's see how they fare.
Elon Gone was more than just fun and games. Patients treated at Duke's Children's Hospital told their stories. Claire Little, a survivor of supraventricular tachycardia, a rare disease that affects the outside of the heart, spoke on stage and later explained to us how it feels to be in remission.
It's wonderful. I got to thank God every day for blessing me with Duke Hospital, being able to perform the surgery that they were. So it's great. I'm feeling good.
Another inspiring story was told by Holly Barber, mother of Matheson, a 4-year-old leukemia survivor. She described how it felt to have Matheson now be cancer-free.
We believed that the Lord was going to heal him and that he was going to use Duke to do that. And we didn't know until, you don't really ever know. You just one day at a time, and every day out is good. But here we are 3.5 years, and so we're just really thankful for every day.
Elon Gone's committee worked hard to make sure the 24 hours were fun-filled, with arcade games, sunrise yoga, and a silent disco to keep students moving during the night.
We're in the final stretch here at Elon Gone. I've been here for 18 hours and I have 6 more to go. Let's see if I can do it.
If students needed an extra burst of motivation, there was an inspiration tent, a place to read stories of miracle children and to write notes to the kids they were helping. Last year at Elon Gone, they raised $105,000 for the kids, but the committee says they doubled the amount this year.
It was a happy ending for all of us here at Elon Gone, with the grand total raise being over $200 grand. Thank you so much for following me through my journey here at Elon Gone. I'm Lauren Cook, Elon in the Morning.
But if dancing for 24 hours is not your sport, our Ryan Green visited one Elon club team to learn their game. And maybe this is the sport for you. Let's check it out.
It's a sport you might not know much about, but it's catching on here at Elon, and it's women's rugby.
First, I visited the women's club team on the intramural fields. After practice, it was time for my coach, junior Ashleen Patton, to teach me the game. I asked her to explain the basics of the sport.
It's like regular sports where you have a defense and you have forward. But basically, what makes it different is the tackling, and also you pass backwards to progress the ball.
We started with the tough stuff, tackling, and being tackled. If you're going to knock someone down, Patton says to go below the knees and squeeze. I was a little nervous for her to demonstrate on me.
Don't tell me when it's gonna happen. Just
Okay.
do it.
I won't.
Her technique worked pretty quickly. Then it was my turn to knock my coach to the ground.
Can I apologize first?
Why are you gonna
'Cause
apologize?
I'm about to tackle you.
No, it's fine. It's rugby.
Okay.
My tackling skills are still a work in progress, but rugby isn't all about tackling. You also have to be able to pass the ball. So we recruited junior Kristen Breyer to teach me a passing drill.
Okay, so this is something we do mostly at the beginning of practice, and it's just to warm up and to get our passes looking good.
After a few practice runs, I had the drill down, so we decided to make it more challenging. We wanted to see if I could touch the ball down without getting tackled by first-year student Jackie Shacknow. It didn't happen. Finished with tackling, we moved on to kicking the ball. My coach told me, Unlike in football, in rugby, no one holds the ball for you when you kick it. Kicking turned out to be the only part of rugby I was good at. After only an hour on the field, I was sore, bruised, and tired. I asked Patton why she thinks rugby is worth the pain.
You really get to know people just because it's such a contact sport, and it's very aggressive, but at the same time, when you know how to play, it's not as bad as you would think it would be.
For Elon in the Morning, I'm Ryan Green.
Just as our broadcast began, a joint press conference was held in Boston. Here are the latest details. According to Boston Police Department, there is no evidence that the 2 bombs were placed in trash cans. The FBI also said that they will not discuss who may or may not be in custody. The Terrorism Task Force assured Boston citizens that there is no known imminent threat at the time. Governor Deval Patrick also spoke at the briefing, and he praised the first responders. He stressed that everyone should remain vigilant and that law enforcement will continue to maintain a heavy presence in the city. We'll be back right after this break.
Welcome back. Here to perform Taylor Swift's Trouble is Ripcord. Take it away.
No apologies, you'll never see you cry. Pretend he doesn't know. He's the reason why you're drowning, you're drowning, you're drowning. I guess you didn't care, I guess I like that. And when I fell hard, you took a step back without me, without me. He was long gone when she met me. And I realized the blame is on me. 'Cause I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now, flew me to places I've never been. Till you put me down, oh, I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now, flew me to places I've never been. Now I'm lying on the cold, hard ground. Oh, 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 trouble, trouble. Oh, 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 trouble, trouble, trouble. When the saddest fear comes creeping in, that you never loved me, or him, or anyone, or anything, yeah. Flew me to places I've never been. Never been. Put me down. Oh, trouble when you walk down. When I'm lying on the cold hard ground. You can. Oh, trouble, trouble. Trouble, trouble, I knew you were trouble, walked in. Trouble, trouble, trouble.
Wow,
Thank
that
you
was
guys so
great
much.
performance, guys.
That was
I
awesome.
really enjoyed it. So tell me about when your next performance is going to be.
Our next performance will be this Saturday, April 20th, our fall concert. Fun fact.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Spring concert.
That's awesome. And what other songs will you have for us?
We got some oldies like some Backstreet Boys. We got some newies like some Stevie Wonder. We got a whole lot going on. I can't really tell you. It's a secret. So you guys have to come.
Nice. Well, we're really looking forward to it, and thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks for
I
having
think
us.
Ripcord is going to sing us as we say goodbye. But
Before we go, please keep Boston in your prayers, and everybody just think about them today. And tune in for our Monday show at 6 p.m. or catch us on Elon in the Morning, May 6th, 7th, May 7th.
have a great week, Elon. Okay, so if you guys want to sing again.
Once upon a time, a few mistakes ago, I was in your sight. You got me alone. You found me. You found me. You found me. I guess you didn't care, and I guess I liked that. And when I fell hard, you took a step back. Without me, without me, without me. She was long gone when she met me, and I realized the blame is on me. 'Cause I knew you were trouble when you walked in.